And in this corner, weighing more than your mama, Godzilla, and his opponent smelling like day-old banana smoothies and somehow brought an illegal weapon to the battle, King Kong. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and of course, ridiculousness. And yes, we're getting the monster battle of, dare I say it, the century. The movie is coming out tomorrow. I was able to see it a little bit early. Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong. I keep mixing it up. Fearsome monsters Godzilla and King Kong square off in an epic battle while humanity looks to wipe out both of the creatures and take back the planet once and for all. So is this battle between these big old titans a movie matchup fight, fisticuffs, 12 rounds that you need to see on the biggest screen possible? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what your thoughts are of Godzilla versus Kong. If you've already seen this, how hyped you are, let me know in the comments down below. Now, let's get into some of the good. So Godzilla versus Kong. We've had, what, 3 movies leading up? Godzilla, King Kong, Skull Island, the next one where they're beating people up. You want a monster battle in this movie. Spectacle, people throwing things, explosions, punches, bitch slaps, everything. You want monster battles, you get monster battles in this one. Godzilla vs. Kong is the movie mashup, beat 'em up movie that I think everyone is going to be very excited about. I was for sure, and I'm going to give a disclaimer here. I watched it on my TV at home because I got an early screener. I wish I would have seen this on the biggest screen possible with the biggest sound possible. So if you are tempted and excited for this movie, go and do that, because like I said, these monster battles are everything in this movie, because not only do you see these 2 different techniques between Kong and Godzilla, you know, the big chonky dude with the fire breath, or this monkey that's jumping off a building and essentially brings an illegal weapon to the battle. Like, you see different fight styles, and you can see how the colossal chaos and destruction is going to come from those different styles. But not only is the battle strictly kind of limited to one area and one battle, they meet up several times in this movie, and what they do that I thought worked so well is they changed the atmosphere of the different battles and conditions that essentially these different monsters had to either adapt with or were more strong in their element, like in the open water, on land, aerial combat, low ground, everything like that. So seeing these giant titans just beat the hell out of each other is worth the ticket price right there. But oddly enough, this movie isn't all a spectacle and beauty and explosions and right hooks to the face. They do give, which is odd to say, a bit of humanity to the Kong character. In this movie, I will say that Kong is more of the main character because he's dealing with the humans a little bit more, but they do seem to give him kind of emotion, humanity, character, which is so odd to say because he's a big old monkey and he cannot talk. But they add this component of a little girl that is essentially his translator, his communicator, someone that very much connects with Kong. And I thought that that gave almost a deeper emotional pull in this battle of these 2 monsters destroying everything. Like, you get into kind of the emotion of this giant monkey, which is so odd to say, but you know, throughout these movies the human component has not been the strongest, but I think that that added character and the connection with Kong added such a unique dynamic to the movie. So, I mean, boom, right there, all of the characters and whatnot. But the spectacle, like I said, this movie is fight choreography, explosions, fisticuffs, all over the screen. But adding to that is the way that they've kind of crafted this monsterverse to have these gorgeous visuals. Like, you see a screenshot and you're like, that could be a poster on my wall. And they continue it with this movie of not only the unique lighting effects, like Godzilla shooting fire breath in Hong Kong with all of this neon around him, such a gorgeous shot. But then also like Kong on a boat with the sunset, all of these other kind of shots or scenes. Like, this is not only a monster beat 'em up movie, but this is a gorgeous kind of visual experience because it's all these neon bright lights kind of spectacle, like I said. So the visual component to this movie is fantastic, adding that cherry on top essentially, but then kind of finishing off with, you know, the few other kind of sprinkles and whatnot that really ties everything together is the way that they kind of made this almost an adventure movie. It very much kind of felt like an adventure sci-fi 80s synthwave music that is a very much kind of epic, adventurous, cinematic feel throughout kind of the adventure that they go on. And the thing that I think this one really grasps is this is a little ridiculous. This is a little bit more sci-fi, a little bit more out there. We're seeing these giant monsters beat the hell out of each other. Let's lean into that a little bit. And with the kind of added lore of like these high-tech spacecrafts following Kong on this adventure, like I said, combined with the visuals and the sound and the score in the background, it did feel kind of like this 80s mystical adventure cinematic film. And I think when they learned that and kind of leaned into kind of the goofiness a little bit more, it really landed in my book. However, getting into the cons of Godzilla vs. Kong, I will be honest, the first 45 minutes are slow. The reason so is that they're trying to set up everything for this epic, grand mission battle matchup of the century, like I said. And that 45 minutes of setup, like I said, it leads to a fantastic point. You love when you get there, but it is very slow setting up these characters, setting up the plot, setting up each of the monsters and kind of the objectives or mission that each of them has in mind, that I thought very much kind of took a little bit away from the rest of the movie and the rest of the experience for myself, along with in that 45 minutes, and honestly even after that 45 minutes, there's bits of plot points that are almost missing because, again, you can't have like a 3-hour movie. You could, but you can't. There's certain plot points that are like, okay, we just have to assume we know how they got there. That was kind of the biggest thing of like this slow movement and certain plot points that I just had to assume we jumped from A to B without kind of seeing that connection. And then logic. This might be almost like hypocritical because I loved the amazing battles. But the logic in this movie feels very thrown out the window. Again, you're seeing a giant lizard and a giant monkey beat the hell out of each other. But there's certain logical things in this movie that are maybe just made up in this world. Like, I don't know how much Godzilla plus King Kong weigh together. But when they jump on an aircraft carrier, personally, I think it's just going to instantly break in half. Maybe I am completely wrong, but there's certain points in this movie where I'm like, wait a minute, that would not happen that way. Or that just seems that person would not have survived or gotten into that situation. So if you really truly do want to enjoy everything in this movie, take your logic out of your pocket and throw it out the window. That's what I will say. Overall, Godzilla vs. Kong is an epic matchup battle of, dare I say it, the century. With it again being these two giant monsters beating the hell out of each other. This is spectacle mayhem at its best, with beautiful visuals, a little bit of added humanity to it, and them leaning into the sci-fi nature, but with a few nitpicks from logic to kind of a slow start. I would recommend checking out Godzilla vs. Kong. Like I said, the biggest screen, the biggest sound possible, because if you are any little bit invested in either of these characters or any of the MonsterVerse movies, you are going to have a hell of a time with this movie. In closing, I'm going to give Godzilla vs. Kong 3.5 out of 5 giant boxing gloves. So what did you all think of Godzilla vs. Kong? Were you Team Godzilla? Were you Team Kong? Did you just want to see them beat each other up? I want to know in the comments down below. Seriously, this was a fun time at the movies for sure. But anyways though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, or right over there. You know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. More stuff coming this week. Every Friday, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Follow my social media, including my TikTok. I'm doing some fun things over there. A little bit of experimental, unique things over there. So go give me a follow. Like this video, subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel. And until next time, we'll see you later.